This small, focused exhibition uses one of the rare prints of Ma Zhiling's map of the world to consider the interaction between China and Europe during the 18th century. The exhibition also includes Chinese 18th century artworks that appropriate European images and techniques. This museum provides an online analysis of the exhibition, including a podcast for each of the works. One key takeaway from the exhibition is the way in which European and Chinese art influenced each other from the perspectives of the Qing rulers during this time period.
This woodblock print map from the late 1780s, titled The Capital Edition of the Complete Map of Astronomy, is a testimony to the sharing of Chinese and European geographic knowledge. It is the work of the scholar Ma Zhilong, a Qing dynasty civil servant and most famously map maker.
These maps depict the eastern and western hemispheres. The map on the left outlines the Eurasian continent and Africa. Ma's version shows the world as spherical, where China is located in the middle, giving the impression that it is in the center of and most notable region in the world. The right is Ma's appropriation of the 1602 world map, the first map of the world known in China. This depicts Asia, South America, and Antarctica. His maps represent a combination of contemporary Eastern and Western global geographic understanding.
Ma's map belongs to a Chinese genre called Complete Maps of All Under Heaven. These were the most commonly produced maps of the world between the late 17th and mid-19th centuries in China.
The interchange between Europe and Asia had a considerable impact on the arts across the globe. For example, European craftsmen strove to discover China's secret to producing true porcelain, finally succeeding in the early 18th century.
The Qing emperors welcomed foreign scientific knowledge and trade relations despite the fear that the principles of assimilation and acculturation of the Jesuit would dispose of China's religions in favor of Christianity. Although the exact extent of the Jesuit influence is difficult to determine, it is clear that they played a role in a range of areas, including the artistic life of the court.
Though glass was produced in China since the 5th century, Western glass received renewed interest as Chinese emperors sought out missionaries to teach Chinese artisans how to make European-style glass. They taught Chinese craftsmen how to make overlay glass, which was used to create the engraved glass vase pictured here.
Qing Long Emperor appreciated the artfulness of the miniature containers and presented the tiny bottles as gifts to honored officials and foreign dignitaries. The works included in this exhibition are copper-painted enamelware that is embellished with exotic images of Europeans onto the metal surface.
This exhibition is an example of the impacts of globalization. Since the 18th century, the effects of the globalization have only increased, making this collection a very interesting look into the early impacts of an increasingly smaller world. It has been interesting if the exhibition had included European art from this time period. This exhibition only has artwork from the Qing dynasty that displays the influence of Europe. It would have been interesting to see the flip side of that, and how the Qing dynasty influenced European art.